Innovation. Innovation. Is it survival necessity or luxury? We're going to have wonderful insights from our panelists today. So moving on to the first panelist, I would like to introduce the panelist to you. Our first panelist for the day, Dr. Shankar Raman, an engineering, computer science engineering from Sri Venkateshwara College, MSc engineering from IIS Bangalore, PhD from IIT Madras. It says it all. He served as a senior engineer at Wipro first, then as head of Department of Computer Science at Shankara College of Arts and Science, then worked in the area of network management in HCL Cisco Offshore Development Center, and after his PhD in 2014, he was with RISE Lab at IIT Madras. Currently, Dr. Shankar Raman is the CEO of IIT Madras Pravartak Technologies Foundation. Very happy to welcome you, sir, to the dais. He's all. We have the next panelist, Dr. Sudhir Varadarajan. Dr. Sudhir Varadarajan is presently the head School of Interdisciplinary Design and Innovation at Indian Institute of Information Technology, IIT, Design and Manufacturing, Kanchipuram. He is the founding director of Made It Innovation Foundation, a design-driven technology business incubator. Dr. Sudhir has been associated with key state and national level initiatives to enhance engineering education in India. He is the author of a book entitled Managing Nothing, a narrative inquiry into innovation and leadership in the IT industry. I believe the word innovation in our dictionary will be synonymous with these two doctors on the dais. Very happy to welcome Dr. Sudhir. Thank you so much, sir. We have the third panelist here. He likes to call himself as entrepreneurial business leader with a passion for innovation and a drive for success. He served as director at companies like Hitachi, Harman Kardon, where he was awarded a Chairman Club Award, Cummins advising major players in the automotive, manufacturing and energy sector in Europe. He worked extensively with Jaguar, Land Rover, Aston Martin, Volvo, Denso, Robert Bosch, Continental, too many. He was fortunate to be a speaker at Gartner Roundtable and at Microsoft. He is currently the CEO of Prominus Innovations, building a strong team focusing on digital transformation for manufacturing sector. Shri Subramaniam Hariharan, CEO, Prominus Innovations. Very happy to have you, sir, with us today. Please take your seat. Thank you so much. We have the moderator for the panel today, Shri Krishnan Naganathan. What does Krishnan do? Krishnan helps organization become world-class through innovation-led growth. How does Krishnan does this? Educates students, delivers meaningful consulting projects focused on designing innovation management system. Experience? Yes, 30 years, 30 years of varied industry experience spanning steel, automotive, FMCG, business consulting. Very happy to welcome Shri Krishna Naganathan, the Innovation and Growth Consultant, with us as the moderator. And over to Krishnan to take over the session.
Good afternoon, everyone. I'm absolutely delighted to be anchoring this session as a moderator, and amidst three very, very distinguished speakers at this one. So with three of them, we have enormous amount of knowledge and wisdom that will help us understand one of the key questions that's troubling everybody. Is innovation necessary for us? Is it a luxury or something that is an absolute necessity for every one of us? So before getting into that, I want to give you a context and ask and define what is innovation, because it's very important to do that, because lots of us have confusion about what is innovation. How many of you know who invented the light bulb? So anybody who says Thomas Alva Edison, please don't answer. Does anybody have a different answer than that? The light bulb was invented 80 years before Thomas Alva Edison actually commercialized the product. Thomas Alva Edison didn't have the patent for that bulb. The patent was owned by two Canadians who sold it to him. So he was a trader. He commercialized the light bulb. He brought light to people. He didn't invent anything with the light bulb. He did lots of experiments. In fact, when he launched it, there was a suit against him in England because he was accused of stealing the idea from a British inventor who had also patented it. So he actually merged his company with this. So innovation has been something that existed for long. Innovation is actually combining an invention and commercializing it. So the operative word is commercializing. So if anybody is talking about innovation, please remember that it doesn't become an innovation unless it is commercialized. So if we look at how today the world defines innovation, is that any new entity which is commercialized and creates value. That's how the ISO standard defines it. So let's not be using innovation in a very loose fashion, and that comes from a lot of creative things. We confuse creativity and innovation very easily. You know, Newton didn't identify the law of gravity because the apple fell on his head. He was an extremely sensible guy. He was always researching about it. He was thinking about it, and suddenly it struck him. So innovation is not accidental. It is actually a planned activity. It is only by planned activity. So our research shows that without being a structured process, innovation cannot happen. So innovation is not some work of crazy scientist working and suddenly some light bulb glows and come and you get it. So that is one of the fundamental things I want everyone to recognize about innovation. It is an outcome, it results in a business, and it results in value. If it is not there, then it is not an innovation. It can be an art. You know? So that's the second thing about innovation. So with that as the context, I would now invite the panelists, starting with Shankar Raman, to talk to us about what they are observing about innovation and why they believe that innovation is something that is absolutely essential for everyone and is not something only for big companies.
Yeah. Thank you very much, Krishnan. See, I think we are a community who talks about philosophy a lot. So let me start being very philosophical and then start from there. Yes. Yeah. Hello, is it okay? Okay, fine. So we are a very philosophical community. If some fire goes in neighbor's house, we'll say that it's his fate so that it burns. and then we keep quiet. We ensure that, okay, so that's the kind of community we are. So let's start with this. See, we say that our highest philosophical thought is reality never changes, right? And we don't live in reality, obviously, because we are under the influence of Maya. And Maya means it gives you so many options of innovation and creativity and change. Very simple. So, is it really needed that creativity and innovation is needed? The very straightforward answer, even philosophically, is yes. Okay? So, where we have lost it is, in between, we found safety somewhere. Because, you know, our brain always takes the path of least resistance. I mean, if I have a hard work and a easy work, I'll always do the easy work first, not the hard work. Okay? And we have been groomed like that. 1970s, banking job. Okay, in 2000s, IT job. Because IT jobs takes the path of least resistance. I'll tell you why. Ask an electrical engineer, when he works with an electrical device, if he touches the device, he gets an electrical shock and he can die. Same is true with mechanical engineer or a civil engineer. But take an IT engineer, the worst case is the machine will crash and he will have to reboot. Still this guy doesn't want to fall in that, you know. So we have been taking the path of least resistance, I think right from 1950s or 60s, when someone started opposing us, saying that let these guys get out of this country. Okay, and that is where we lost our creativity and innovation. Because until then, I think we were the most creative people, we were the most innovative people. If you go back to US, many of us who are settled there, I know a lot of people who are publishing patents in the US. Okay, but we don't do the same thing here in India. Okay, so whether creativity and innovation is needed, it comes by nature. I mean, there is no question here. Then you can differentiate between creativity and innovation. You know, don't do the same thing again and again the same way and expect different results. Okay, so if you want different results, you have to do things differently. And the problem today we have is, probably you can blame it on the education system and all that. Okay, I don't think blaming others is going to help. It only leads to debates. Okay, what are we doing creatively to solve the problem? Okay, one. Okay, our people teach, the maximum they teach is if it's a boy, it's mridangam, and the girl, it's a dance. Okay, they believe that they do not have anything other than this. I'm very sorry being blunt, because I know the title itself says that it's a Brahmins forum, and I'm also a Brahmin, so I think I have the right to criticize. Okay, so unfortunately, we have lost this art of creativity. See, even dance has creativity. Okay, those who have read this book, Godel Isher Bach, okay, you see that a mathematician's thought process is similar to a musician's thought process. Okay, is similar to an artist's thought process. Believe it or not, once you take the core thought process, what the mathematician calls as recursion, the artist expresses as images where there is repetition. Okay, the musician goes after again and again, raga within a raga, raga within a raga. This is what in computer science we call as mutual recursion and recursion. Okay, so the thought process is not different, and this is what we have missed today. Okay, whether you want to be creative or innovative, it's finally the thought process which you have missed. Okay, sir, all of us talk a lot. What have you done for this? Okay, we have done a lot through our IIT Madras, which the current director says IIT for all. Okay, and let me tell you, as of today, yes, IITs are considered to be Iyer and Iyengar Institute of Technology, but innovation still exists, because one of the local leaders have taken a statistics, and he has published that 78% of the leaders in IIT are forward community. I said, so what? We are number one, so what? Okay, now they want to bring it down, and they will bring it down. Forget it. Okay, let's face it. Okay, the point is that, I'm not demeaning or something, but I'm telling you the facts. Now, in this, if we bring innovation, okay, so what we are doing? The first thing is we are targeting children, because, children are innovative up to the age of 10th standard. It's the first thing, you kill them with 10th standard, and you bury them with 12th standard. Okay? After that, when he comes to bachelor's of engineering, he refuses to make a mistake. One of the practical examples of how we have killed creativity and innovation, I manage all these freshers. Okay, once I shouted at a fresher with very bad words. He was unmoved completely. Okay, he was just looking at me as if nothing has happened. Okay, I was wondering why. Because if once my father told me that you are only useful for, grooming buffaloes, I told him I'll get my PhD, and that's why I got my PhD. But this guy, okay, was simply saying he was. Then I happened to visit his college. So I saw his teacher. Okay, this guy was standing in a compound wall. This teacher, "Hey, Irma, go to the class." And he gets used to it. He doesn't bother. If I call you Irma or buffalo or cow or whatever it is, he gets used to it. And he doesn't react. Now, once you don't react, you cannot be creative. Please be clear, okay? You want to. So, this determination, anger, all these are qualities for creativity. We try to suppress it. Why does a child get frustrated? Because he wants to do something and it is not happening. Why don't you help him do it? Why don't you bash him? So our community, which was doing all these things, has suddenly stopped it. And the sad fact today is that when I go and sit in the interviews, which I was telling, our community people, they do not answer any questions in the interview. I was part of one of the prominent banks run by our Brahmin community, and the difference between check and draft is missing from the people from our community. Okay, for all other communities, they are able to answer these kind of questions. So I think we have killed innovation, we have killed creativity. It's up to us to retrieve it back. How we can retrieve it back, we have to think about it. And is it really needed? If it is not there, we are finished. Okay, because the future is a knowledge economy. Okay, it is no longer mechanical or whatever it is. And you can see how systems work against our country. If someone wants to come up, you can see how reports are published to pull you down. Okay? And we have to fight all this. There is no point in saying that that's the fate of this country. Okay, I think at least from 2013 we understood that fate can be changed. Because till 2014 we thought fate is fate. Okay, I'm not being political. Okay? So, thank you very much. I think this is the answer for it. Is creativity and innovation needed? Yes. Have we lost it? Yes. How do we retrieve it back? I think we have a long way to go. If we don't, but one thing is sure, if we don't retrieve it back, we are finished. Okay? So with that, I think I pass on my
Dr. Vardharaj.
So thank you very much. Let me also thank the organizers for inviting me here. I'll build on what Dr. Shankar Raman mentioned, starting with the children and creativity, right? And he said after 10th, people don't seem to, but it's not 10th, it is after 5th class. So I'll recall my own personal experiences looking at my son develop. He's in 10th now, and he's struggling with getting through this current education system. But the same person, when he was 5 years old, while we were just traveling sometime, he asked a question saying, can you tell a date? And I will tell the day, right? So we told one date and he said it is a Wednesday. Then later we changed by year, he then said it is some other Thursday or something like that, right? And when we changed to 4 years, then he struggled a little bit, but it took some time and then came somewhere close by. Then we were wondering how he is able to do this, right? Nobody taught him anything. School, nobody has taught him this, but how is he able to do this? That is where what we realized is we went back and saw some of the activities that he was doing on his own. So one of the activities which he was obsessively doing for a period of 3 months was just to replicate a calendar. So whenever that was January time frame, you go to a temple, you get a calendar. So all he used to do is write down that calendar on a chart, just exactly the same way the calendar is, and go on doing that. And all he used to ask is ask for chart paper, so we could give him We didn't know what he was doing. As long as he was not bothering us, we were happy. So, and he was continuing doing that. But later when we, this is some analysis I had done, because I have also been working with somebody who is looking at creativity in children. So when we looked at the complete set of charts that he was creating, luckily we didn't throw them away. My wife somewhere had kept it. We could see a lot of patterns in that. In the sense, he was not just documenting a chart, but sometimes playing around with the position of the Sunday. Why should Sunday be the first column? Why can't Sunday be the middle column? Somewhere he was playing around with having January from one year, February from another year, and March from another year, right? So what is happening here is, this is something which many of us have forgotten, but if you observe very closely, children have a natural way of observing the world and creating impressions of that world. So what they are writing as a chart is kind of prototyping that they are doing about the real world, right? And through that process, they are observing, picking up patterns and all. And through those patterns, he is able to create a game depending on a certain context, right? Now, if you observe this whole cycle of activities, won't we say that there is creativity here? Won't we say there is an innovation, because eventually it has translated into a game which can make an impact on a group of people? So if a child, 5-year-old child can do this, then where is it that we are missing, and why are we talking so much about innovation in organizations across the world today? One of the things that we have noticed and repeatedly, so because I also deal with the current engineering education process in an institute and so on. What we have seen is one of the core activities which is getting lost somewhere after the 3rd class, 4th class and all, is this art of practicing and doing things, right? So the whole process is becoming a cognitive process of reading, remembering and reproducing rather than doing. So physically doing activities and engaging with those activities is something very fundamental for innovation process. Whether it is sketching, like he said mridangam and all, but I think if you actually do that continuously, dance, mridangam and other things, any of these physical activities have a mechanism to cultivate what is called, there is an alternative theory to cognition which says embodied cognition. Cognition is not just what, you are not your brain, right? It is the whole body is involved in the process of creative responses of individuals. So having a greater engagement with physical things, doing things, is a very fundamental aspect of cultivating that. So what is happening in a schooling system? After 3rd class, we have seen this happen with my own son. Is up to 3rd class, he was in this Montessori type of model where this process was going on. In the school, some physical activities and other things they were doing. But once they come out of that and then enter the middle school and others, it becomes a process of dealing with abstractions. So the teacher is only reading from a book or explaining from a book. You are trying to relate to an abstract concept where you have not created that concept. If you say Newton has created this law, I have not created it. Why is it not that it has come from my observation? Right? Unless I develop this ability to see that my own observation is leading to a certain insight, I can always compare with what Newton had done or somebody has done. That process of engagement leads to a lot more deeper understanding, and the potential for bringing out novelty starts emerging out of that. That process is entirely missing after the 5th class, 4th class period. And that's why today we have a scenario where we have students who are disembodied and decontextualized, right? So they don't have any understanding. He also mentioned about the example, like my son says, what is farming? There is a game in online where you can reproduce cows, you can, right? So they can do everything in the online. They can also reverse the process, right? So irreversibility is not understood. So that's the kind of context we have got in. Now this is where engineering education has gone in that direction. That's why we say majority of engineers are unemployable and other things. It's deeply rooted in this process. But if you look at design education is still partly in this space. So what we have been doing last 6-7 years in our institute is trying to bring this perspective of design education, which is still rooted in the everyday realities, and embed it in an engineering process. So that engineers start, as students, they start relating, reacting to everyday things around them, and through that process of interactions with everyday things, a deeper observation and potential for creation of novelty can come in. So this is something I just wanted to add at this point. Maybe I'll cover a few other points later.
Excellent. Thank you very much. I have a specific question for Subramaniam. That's, you have come back from the West recently, not very. How do you see this entire realization about the need for innovation in the that's happening in the rest of the world and what we are seeing in India?
Yeah, so first of all, thank you very much. I'm honored to sit next to two giants. 23 years ago, Dr. Shankaraman evaluated my paper. Yeah, evaluated my paper, and so it went to, so on the innovation, so I'll talk less. I'll give an example. Before I was born, there was this brand called Nokia. Yeah, so they were having the biggest market share, 90% plus on the mobile phone. They had a warning bell in the form of BlackBerry. Yeah, and then iPhone came and nailed it. Yeah, so they did not see what's going on. That is number one. And Nokia was focusing more on production and scaling up. The innovation was not an ongoing process for them. Yeah, many other luxury brands or many other innovative brands, they have this function ongoing all the time. It's not a one-off activity, one-off isolated activity. Yeah, so that is missing here in our corporates. So we have this so-called IT services companies where there is no room for innovation. You're just supposed to deliver what's been given, number one. And of course, this shareholder value, basically that's another area where innovation is taking the last step, and that's an area that we need to look at in India. Yeah, so that's missing significantly. Yeah, so I'll talk less.
Very interesting point that you made. Today, everyone hears about AI. I think that everyone would have heard about what is artificial intelligence. Everybody has probably used ChatGPT to some extent. Some of you would have used it, but it's not something new. There's an AI company in Bombay called Cure AI. I was doing a work for an US hospital, and the benchmark was Cure AI. It is a Bombay-based company with about 20 people. They have digitized the reading of radiology files, and they are able to do what a radiologist will do. Just study an X-ray and conclude what is the diagnosis. They have done that for less than $1. They are the world's number one in that space now. It's a big battle to win, but they are the world's largest and number one player. Can you imagine, today we are paying 2 crores for a radiology course. We don't mind sending our children to do a radiology course for 2 crores. This company will digitize it. It has used artificial intelligence, and that same radiology diagnostic will be done at less than $1, 50 rupees per analysis. That's what disruption can do. That's what innovation can do for each of our work. So I would like the experts here to talk about how do they see these sort of things impacting our everyday life. It's not just us. It is not just the big companies. It is going to impact each of your businesses, each of your work. It could be a small business. It could be a large business. It's going to affect each of us. So
So, from my point of view, AI can maximum replace natural stupidity. That's all. Okay. For example, it can be used in courts to deliver verdicts. I mean, so there is consistency in what they deliver because it doesn't. See, the whole problem today, there is a delay, and once you replace natural stupidity, actually the time delay will come down. So you don't go for, you know that once your case is lost, okay, you don't go to Supreme Court and do something else and then get it. So basically in the area of court judgments, I think it will work very well. I mean, that's the humor part of it because someone will file a case against me. So now, the point is that, see, AI, all said and done, okay, AI, if it comes, it will enhance the value of life. No doubt about it. Okay? But finally, see, AI, finally the human brain has to work at some point in time because AI can make mistakes. You can make AI biased. For example, one of the cars, okay, which reads the speed limits, it says 50 kilometers. You just put one more zero next to it, it's going to assume it's 500 kilometers and it will accelerate. Or you just remove that 5, it will brake immediately. So I think, I mean, a natural, see, when you are a natural human being, you will wonder why that is 0. Probably you will also guess that probably this is not the right, but AI cannot do it because it's mechanized, because it goes by rules. So definitely, can AI replace everything? No. But the way the job profile will change, we'll be forced to think, because if the AI misses somewhere, see, it's similar to autopilot mode in flights. Okay? So at the end of the day, you can do all autopilot and then sit quiet, but then if there is an emergency, you need a pilot to manipulate. So therefore, AI is not going to replace everything. Okay, but if AI will reduce the time, it will lead to some saner decisions. Okay, but at the same time, cannot replace a human being. I mean, I don't think there is any algorithm because the basic law of computer science, okay, clearly says that there are some problems which are unsolvable. Okay, so people talk about, see, AI is based on computer science. Mathematically, okay, it clearly says that there are certain problems, and it's called the a barber, for example, given a definition that a barber shaves others, does a barber shave himself? If you give it to AI, okay, it is not going to solve this problem. Okay? So there are some fundamental problems which computers cannot solve. And today's AI algorithms are all based on problems, the basic theory of finite state machines and things like that. So will AI take over everything? No. Will it help? Yes. And definitely a human being has to sit on top of AI, because for emergency situations, I don't think AI is going to help you out. Okay? That's my viewpoint.
Yep. But is it going to create great opportunities? Is it going to disrupt the way we do things? What's your view on that?
Okay. So I'll start with AI is working with information. But the question is, where is this information going to come from? Right? Many times, if you look at many of the methods in AI, they were all created in the 1960s. We have not really created any new methods. But in 60s, when they tried to use this, there was a big problem with availability of data. Right? Even very early in 1990s, when I joined a software company, we were building enterprise applications, and we used to always think, why can't we build decision support systems? But the simple plain truth is, there is no basic data about a company, even talk about any decision support. So there is a process that one has to go through to build that data. And today, why some of these things are becoming relevant is that that data has built up since 90s. Last 30 years, a lot of data has built up. So some of this discussion on AI is becoming possible. But I'll recount a particular project that we did for one of the large companies here in Chennai. Is they were looking at, for their product development, to accelerate their product development, they wanted to find a way to optimally use their test rigs. Right? So they had to test the material on new product material on these test rigs, and the test rigs were also used for the manufacturing quality testing. So there was a challenge saying, how can we find a way by which we can minimize the time taken to test the manufacturing type of, which is a regular process related quality testing. For that we can minimize the time, then I can use the test rig for the new product development. So then we said, yes, we can probably look at that. So then we had a look at the data which their test rig was generating. And when we collected the data and said we can do some machine learning on that, we couldn't find any pattern in that. Later we realized it is not possible to find any pattern in that, because the test rig is designed to stop if any deviation from a basic SAE norms come in. Right? So then the data itself is not there for me to look at deviation. Now for them to go back and ask the test rig manufacturer to give a deviation so that we can get a lot of data, they said that's all not possible, it will take a lot of time and all. Luckily, we also found that the same organization was collecting some manual data. So they had some people who used to collect some manual data on the failures and so on. And that data, when we analyzed, we could very clearly see that belt tension seems to be a very critical parameter which decides the failure. So if I can find signals of deviation in that very early, so instead of testing for 600 hours, I can test for 200 hours and figure out the probability of failure based on that model. So we could construct a fairly good model using the raw data collected, manual data collected by a different team. Right? So the point I'm trying to make is getting the right data, getting the sources of this data is a very fundamental aspect of making AI work. AI can be disruptive in certain areas where what a human eye cannot see, the machine can see. The minute differences that a human eye cannot notice, where the machine can notice, those are the areas lot of disruption. So the example which you have taken is of a similar kind. So in such cases, there is a significant disruption possible. And like we have, as a part of our incubator also, we have incubated one company which has tried to build a digital microscope, which is to, like for example, you look at the Carl Zeiss and those kind of microscopes in the market, they come around somewhere around 15 lakhs or 20 lakhs price point. Now these microscopes have emerged out of superior lens concept, and on top of that they had to add image processing and all, so the cost goes up. But there was a company that incubated with us, they came up with an idea saying, why can't I use an inferior lens but superior information processing, where it can work with that inferior data and still give me meaningful results. And the company built that product. We could bring it to somewhere a price point of around 1 lakh. The same 15 lakhs output can be delivered at a 1 lakh output, because you are using an inferior lens, so the cost is relatively low, but you are using a lot of data processing and other methods to work with that inferior data, right? So you are able to deliver that. So these kind of things, there is a huge potential to look at that. But for this, again, I'll go back to my same point is, it has to start with looking at practical everyday realities and issues which we are already encountering, right? And a deep observation onto that and understanding of that is the source of a lot of these innovations. It is not going to come by saying, creating a separate innovation lab and then say a few people are going to think about the future of this company. It's not going to happen like that.
Subramaniam, you had a very interesting story to tell, right?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So AI, as we spoke just before the lunchtime, I was talking to Krishnan. We've had a couple of discussions on how including ChatGPT. As he mentioned, if it's a mathematical algorithm, the data set. So even ChatGPT needs the data set to think. So it's not thinking, it's basically data crunching and then giving you the output.
But your story from Jaguar, that
Pretty
was
story from, I'll come to that. Range Rover is pretty popular in Middle East. Yeah, nothing to do with the vehicle, nothing to do with the, the environment and so on. Because it's a desert environment, they have one peculiar problem in the environment is, because of the shadows under the vehicle, snakes come and sleep there or they get hidden there. Yeah, so, and snake bite is pretty common, on the under the SUVs. We were luckily working with the JAG's R&D team, and we were, putting up the radar signal under the vehicle or 360-degree vehicle. So one of the guy came out on a grass or a leaf or something. We'll have to detect and identify that as a real snake first of all. So it's not just one sensor, it takes a lot of sensors to identify that and detect that as real snake. And then when somebody tries to open the car with the key fob, it gives them a notification saying that, there's a snake under your car and, don't step into the car right now, stay back. Yeah, so that we really did. We did implement proof of concept, and then that included the machine learning and AI into the vehicle. So, and that required 2 terabytes of hard disk inside to be plugged into the car board. So that's the sort of innovations people play in the premium car segment. So, yeah.
Yeah, we coming towards the end of the talk, and I have one last question for each of the panelists, and that is very simple. Where do you think is the biggest innovation opportunities for people here? We have people from building industry, we have people from trades, we have people from all across. We have doctors and everything. Where do you see the innovation opportunities for?
So innovation has to happen everywhere. There is no one place, number one. And it has to happen across the industry and across the different functions of every company. So that includes innovation at the product level, that includes innovation at the process level, that includes innovation at the reporting level, and that also includes innovation at the marketing level of taking the product to market. So that is where I see innovation coming. You mentioned construction as the first sector, or people are there and so on. Last week there was a news article floating on the internet, a 3D printed house. Yeah, the entire house has been 3D printed. Yeah, so it might come to the market 10 years down the line, but that's already happening. Construction. So if you take manufacturing, so all the technologies that exist in the manufacturing is the so-called level 2.0, and the industry is heading towards industry 4.0. So that's a 30-year shift that we are looking at, and that needs to change across, and that also includes people and the process. Yeah, so that's where I see innovation coming through.
Yeah, from my perspective, I would really start looking at innovation in learning as a starting point, right? Because without that in the education system, if there is no real difference coming in the way we look at things, then a lot of these other, what you see as challenges in the industry will continue. But from an industry point of view, as Subramaniam said, there is a, across the board, there is a need, but it all depends on the specific context of that company, right? Each company needs to figure out what is the context in which they are operating, and where is the space for exploring what is possible within that context. Now, here I want to add a couple of elaborations here. It is like starting with a view that good ideas can come from anywhere. It is not necessarily concepts and ideas can come from anywhere and from anybody. But for realizing that, you need know-how and the capability. So developing that capability becomes a bottleneck, especially in a small and medium company. That could be a critical challenge to create those capabilities. And that is where companies have to look at reaching out to some of these incubators and those kind of ecosystem which is now begun to change in this country. Because if you look at, I think in 2015, we had about 90 incubators in the country. Today there are more than 500 incubators in the country. So there is a lot of focus which has gone from the government side to create this incubation, innovation ecosystem across educational institutions. Still, not many of them will be successful, but the point is, because there is a widespread activity which is happening, capability development will not happen immediately. Suppose any company or any employee in a company can come up with an idea. But for realizing that, I may not have all the skill sets and all the know-how to realize that. But if I'm able to reach out or involve partners who can help me in mobilizing, realizing that, then this process becomes a little more feasible for especially small and medium companies. I'm purely talking from a, like from when we talk innovation in an academic institution. Yep. One way it is an...
I will have, lots of people have to catch flights back, so I'm going to have to ask Dr. Shankar Raman to have a last word.
Just give me a minute. So the point is that, innovation need not be head shaking. You can have very small innovations. One of the things probably many people do not know is that, launching of rockets has been a great activity. You have to wait for 6 months and all that to build the rockets. There is a company called Agnikul Cosmos in IIT Madras, which actually 3D prints rockets. And within 3 days, they can print one rocket engine and they can launch the rocket. So this is innovation, okay? This is head-shaking innovation. And the challenge to these guys, I know these guys because they were told that it cannot be done, okay? And these people, when they took the first version of this to Dubai, one person asked, do you people still exist? Okay, so when you are going for innovation, all these problems will come. But you have to go for it because now they are changing the way they are going to launch rockets. You will see that happening. I think shortly they will be launching it in front of the Prime Minister. So the innovation need not be head-shaking. Have small innovations. Start it right from home. Yep. Okay? Then it will automatically come to the company. That's it.
Thank you very much, and that's a very important one. Innovation can be big or small, but everyone probably needs to start innovating to become relevant in the future. I thank the panelists. They have lots of things to share, but unfortunately the time is limited. But thank you for coming here and sharing your wisdom. And thanks to the audience for being very patient listeners.
Thank you, Krishnan, moderator, and all the delegates. Just stay there for a second. I request Mr. Murali of Sri Krishna Sweets to come on stage to honor the dignitaries. Bhargav. Mr. Dr. Shankar Raman. Dr. Sudhir Varadarajan. Mr. Subramanian Harihara. And the moderator, our friend Krishnan Naganathan. Thank you very much, gentlemen. Thank you for your time. There is an important announcement. Moksha.
Good afternoon, delegates. I'll just quickly read out the names. Could you please ensure that you have checked out? Yeah, okay. Those of you who have not checked out your rooms, could you please meet with Mrs. Vijay Lakshmi of Sirvani chapter? She's right here on my right. So those of you need help checking out or have not checked out, please immediately contact Mrs. Vijay Lakshmi. The reason is we need to check out immediately. Please, we expect your cooperation on this subject. Thank you. Delegates, you can move around. You can meet Vijay Lakshmi. You don't have to remain seated. Please, can we get the we need to get the checkout process done quickly.
Immediately go for contact Vijay Lakshmi ji and get that done, please. It's important. Otherwise, you will be docked for one day's charges.
We'll be starting the next part of the function shortly. Please wait.
இல்லை அவள் ப்ரெசன்டேஷன் அவளை வர சொல்லிடலாமா சுரேஷ் கொடுத்துடலாமா லேப்டாப் இருக்காம்மா அவங்க எடுத்துன்னு வராங்க லேப்டாப் பண்ணிக்கலாமா we are just having one briefing by Super Auto Forge on what they procure. If you are a potential supplier, you can pay attention to this briefing. A short briefing will be made by them. Ladies and gentlemen, this session will be presented by the DGM Materials of Super Auto Forge, Mr. Ravi Shankar. Over to you, sir.
Thank you. Good afternoon. After having a good lunch and a wonderful session of innovation, actually innovation starts even in our kitchen. Without innovation, our foods will not be interesting for us. Thank you very much for the opportunity given to us. So our company is Super Auto Forge. they manufacture. Let me open the presentation. Yeah, our company is Super Auto Forge. We are largest manufacturer of cold forging parts in India. So we cater the largest manufacturer of cold forged warm components in India and leader in aluminum forging technology. We have state-of-art tool room, self-developed forging technology. We are exporting to North America and the European Union, Tier 1 customers in 1998. We have offices and warehouses in North America and Europe. Design, assembly, testing capability for ball joints, captive SPM design and the manufacturing division we have. Diversification into non-auto also. Currently we are doing a lot of aluminum forgings for non-auto sectors. And then we are supplying fully finished CV joint assemblies to major OEMs of North America. So our investment is 790 crores. Land areas 52 acres of all plants put together. A build-up area of 640,000 square feet. Our total staff and associate 1,780. Our last year turnover was 1,223. In that export was 923 crores. So we cater to the OEMs on transmission parts and then suspension parts and then brake parts. So we have requirements like machining, then surface protection coatings, and then tool die and making, and lubricants, and then machine spares, and then vision, and then quality requirements like that. If you are interested, you can contact me through this email. As soon as we are launching a new program in next year, we may associate and then we grow here. We came here only to support this organization and we do cooperate. Thank you very much for the opportunity. Thank you very much on behalf of Super Auto Forge.
We'll just set up for the valedictory. Give us 2 seconds. President Ram Prasad of South Madras to present a memento to Mr. Ravi Shankar of Super Auto Forge. Thank you so much for your kind support for this event, sir, and our gratitude to Mr. Shankar Narayanan for yesterday's wonderful talk. Thank you, sir.
Vanakkam, Namaste. I am Girija Raghavan, MC for the validatory function. We are entering into the grand validatory function now. Enniya enniyanga iduvar, enniyar thinniyaraga perin. This is what a great Tamil poet Thiruvalluvar said. When you do plan something, if your intentions are good, the result will surely be great as you planned or even more. That is what this Bidyuth 2023 has proved. We were engaged fully past 2 days, everyone explored all possible opportunities, and we are going to excel more and more from now on. We start the valedictory session with an award function. So let us wait for the dignitaries to chair.
Yeah. I'd like to invite the dignitaries for the valedictory to join on the stage. I'd first like to invite our founder, Anant Nagaraji, our trustee, Shyam Saran, and our trustees and Mr. Murthy ji, Ramki ji to join us on the stage. Karthik Jayaraman to join on the stage, please. Subraya ji, Shyam Sundar ji, Ramki.
Thank you. Please take your seats. Okay. Now is the award function. I request our EC chairman, Sri A.R. and Murthy, to please give away the awards. To introduce Mr. A.R. and Murthy, he has an experience of 33 years from software to textiles. Last assignment was the CEO of Shapurji Palniorji, textile division in Bombay. Chose to retire at the age of 50, but continue to be active by trading textile raw materials. Has an official and got down in Tirupur in the Textile Global. I invite Mr. A.R. and Murthy to please give the awards.
Very good afternoon. So, Bidyuth has 23 has been a wonderful experience. There are a lot of people who utilize this, and for their contribution to Bidyuth 23, we would like to recognize and award a few people. For the maximum number of KYTs that has been done, Mr. Anant Narayanan of Agastya chapter. May we request you to come forward, please? Mr. Anant Narayanan. Mr. Anant Narayanan. Okay. Okay. The best contributor for the consulting cafe. Is there anybody else from Agastya who can collect it on his behalf? May I request anybody from Agastya chapter if they are here to collect it? Yeah, please. Thank you. Thank you, sir. For the best contribution to Consulting Cafe is Lata Venkatesh from Bharti. Explorer Forum was a huge hit. There were a lot of participants. There was a lot of contributions. Picking up the best contributor was indeed a challenge for the team, I understand. The team has chosen Kritika Srinivasan from Krishna as the best contributor for Explorer. We had a fabulous evening yesterday. I think it was entertainment that really took us all to a different level. And the Best Entertainer Award goes to Mr. Ganesh of Vishweshwaraya chapter. Mr. Ganesh.
The delegate who sang Shankara last night at the entertainment session. Sir, sorry. Sir, sorry if we got your name wrong. Can you please? Ravi Shankar. Sir, apologies. Mr. Ravi Shankar of Vishweshwaraya.
Thank you very much. This is for the Bidyuth Contribution Awards. Further proceedings will be taken over by, yeah.
Request Ramya to come over to the dais, please. Can you ask her to come?
There's one special award coming in. Yeah.
We now move to the awards. The highest number of visitors invited in 2022 goes to Srimati Soumya Srinath. Can we have Soumya Srinath? Congratulations, Soumya. Very happy for you. Best wishes, Soumya. The next award. The highest number of opportunity notes in 2022 goes to Srimati Shilpa Prasad. Congratulations, Shilpa. All the best. Best wishes to you, Shilpa. Another award of highest number of KYTs in 2022 goes to Sri Aravind Prasad. Aravind Prasad. Congratulations, Aravind, for the excess number of KYTs. All the best. The Mysore team is on a big hike. 3 cheers to Mysore team for all the work. Congratulations, Mysore. The next award is a big one. It's a big one. The highest business giver in 2022. Shri M.G. Satish. All the best, Satish, and it really stood for the Givers Gain Forum. Hearty congratulations. Now, give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Let's hear the number. Let's hear the number he's given. It's 5.22 crores. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. Thank you. The next award, the highest number of members introduced in 2022. Srimati Soumya Srinath. Congratulations. Congratulations, Soumya. for making the chapter grow, for making BBB grow. Wonderful, wonderful efforts. In fact, she introduced her aunt to me yesterday to join in South Madras. She stands for what she does for. Congratulations, Soumya. Congratulations. So are you ready for the last award? The best chapter. It's not the best state, it's the best chapter. All right, so let me release the suspense. The best chapter for 2022 is Sir M.V. Vishweshwaraya. Congratulations. Can we have a big round of applause? Congratulations. Do we have the entire team of M.V. Vishweshwaraya? Please come on to the dais. Please come on to the dais. It's an honor to have you with us in Bidyuth 2023. Hearty congratulations. Let the applause continue for the work they have done. Congratulations. Congratulations. The zeal and enthusiasm is so obvious in every member. It's the team effort. What they have done is brought to them as the best chapter. Hearty congratulations, M.V. Vishweshwaraya. Best Chapter 2022. Let the applause continue, guys. It's the best chapter, which means 1 year of effort from every member of M.V. Vishweshwaraya. Let the applause continue. Hearty congratulations, M.V. Vishweshwaraya. Thank you, thank you. Your happiness is contagious. You make us happy too. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So we move on. May I request Shri A.R.N. Murthy sir, Chairman, EC Committee, to address the gathering. Over to you, sir.
Congratulations to all the award winners, and special mention to Sir CV, Sir MV. That was intentional, okay? Sir MV for sweeping the awards, all the awards. Once again, many congratulations. I also take this opportunity to make a couple of announcements with the permission of the trustees. We are almost maybe at the end of the Bidyuth 2023, maybe another couple of hours we'll be concluding that very well organized event. All the organizers left no stone unturned to make this event a grand success. All of us thoroughly enjoyed it. Don't they deserve a standing applause, please? All of us. BBB Trust and the Executive Committee thanks every individual who has contributed to the success of this event. We owe it to you. Bidyuth 2021, Bidyuth 2022 happened in Bangalore, Karnataka. Bidyuth 2023, all of us are here. So naturally, Bidyuth 2024 should go out. It goes to Hyderabad. A word of caution, every year the bar of Bidyuth is rising, so please make a note of that. We also had the cricket league happening in Bangalore last year. This year it was in Mysore. And next year, no. Yes, it goes to Coimbatore. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for that expected and unexpected announcements. Thank you so much. And now we are moving on to the next part of the program. When you read books, it is not just reading. You cherish whatever you have read for a long time to come. That is how we have made lifetime friends and lifetime connections in this Bidyuth, and we are going to cherish it for a longer time. I invite Mr. Bhargav Sundaram to introduce the keynote speaker of the day.
It gives me immense pleasure to introduce Karthik Jaraman, whom I got introduced to about 5 years back. And the first time I visited his warehouse, or do we call it, the place where he stores his products, I was just in awe. I was really stunned to see someone getting into a business like that. It was so fascinating, and it's fantastic to meet him again after 5 years today. Karthik comes with a diverse experience spanning nearly 25 years in the fields of engineering, automotive, and management consulting. In the past, he has been associated with leading firms like Ashok Leyland, McKinsey and Company, Tata Motors, Timken. In his tenure in these companies, Karthik has been a part of transformational programs such as building India's first indigenous passenger car platform at Tata Motors, one of India's first global R&D centers at Timken, leading large operations and organizational transformations across a wide base of heavy engineering and manufacturing firms at McKinsey, and being a key driver in Ashok Leyland's highly successful business transformation story. Karthik started his entrepreneurial journey with Way Cool in 2015 with his partner and co-founder Sanjay Dasari. The company operates a full-stack, broad-line product range across multiple channels and categories like fresh produce, staples, dairy, spices and condiments, and packaged products, serving a base of 100,000 customers. Waycool, through its agricultural extension program Outgrow, works with a base of over 85,000 farmers to ensure produce and equips farmers with next-gen technology while promoting principles of regenerative agriculture. With his core expertise in the areas of transforming business processes across operations, sourcing and supply chain organization, and leadership capability building, Karthik has driven Waycool Foods in becoming India's largest agri-commerce company today. He has built Karthik has built a strong culture of innovation, resulting in Waycool leading automation and running a highly efficient business model in the industry. Karthik is an IIT Madras alumnus with a master's degree from Purdue University and an MBA from Indian School of Business. Presenting to you, Karthik Jaraman.
Namaskara, Vanakkam, good afternoon. To all those wondering what is an automotive engineer doing selling fruits and vegetables, the only logical explanation I can give to you is that some people address their midlife crisis by buying Harley Davidsons, others become entrepreneurs. Having said that, after about 20 odd years in corporate life, there was a bit of an angst building up personally in me, where it felt that you were doing 1 year's work 20 times over. And the second half of one's career should be to give back and to build something that outlasts you. And that was really the bug that caught me. And it's not just me, I'm part of a very large set of people who came out of the automotive industry to enter this very strange, very unorganized sector. I'll start off with a disclaimer. We are 7.5 years old as a company. So please treat this as the palavering of a 7.5-year-old child and the lessons that she or he has picked up along the way for what it's worth. All I'm doing is teasing out lessons learned from the journey that we are going through, and it's a work in progress. I'll break this up into 6 types of lessons that we have learned to start with. The first is the necessity for governing principles rather than a business plan to build out any enterprise. The second is a few key operational learnings that we have had along the way. The third is technology as a feature in any business that we're building. Like I told you earlier, I sell fruits, vegetables, rice, etc. What's technology got to do with this? But technology as a feature exists pretty much in every other business, and if not, it should. The fourth is something that we don't speak much about, but automation as a feature in any business that we run. The fifth is values as a feature in any business or institution that we build. And the sixth is future readiness as a feature in any business or institution that we build. When we started this space, frankly, we were choosing amongst a number of areas to focus on, and we did not know how to start. So we said any business or institution that we build must be driven off 3 governing principles. Number 1, it must be something that is of essential usage for a large number of Indians. Most startups start up in Bangalore, and Indira Nagar is known as a hub for startups. One of the statements that is still valid in our own company is, don't build for Indira Nagar, build for India. The sheer depth of the Indian market will carry you through to build something of very large scale if you build for India. And that's possible only if you're in the essential space and not in the discretionary space. So luxury goods are discretionary, food is essential. That's a simple choice. Second, I come from an industry which is in commercial vehicles, which is full of recessions. Food is recession proof, essential goods are recession proof. So that was the first governing principle. The second governing principle is that any problem that we solve should be multidimensional and not simplistic. It's all fine to just set up an e-marketplace where a farmer sells grain to a trader, but anybody can replace you at any point in time. Building a multi-dimensional problem, which is a combination of technology and physical operations, is necessary for us to build a defensible business and to build a moat. That was the second principle that we have tried to stick to always. The temptations are there for us to just build an e-marketplace, because you can show gross merchandise value, you can achieve valuations, you can take secondary exits and buy Bentleys. But we're not into that because we know it's not a defensible business. And the third is that purpose and profits must be going hand in hand. Your community, the community of stakeholders in which your operation should fight for you to succeed. You don't need to fight the community in order to succeed. So these were 3 governing principles that we always had in mind. And these are the principles that we go back to every time we are faced with a decision that we have to take regarding our business. This is why we chose food and agri. We chose this sector because in the past 60 years, India has moved from the days of PL 480, where we had to beg for food, to a food surplus country. And that's phenomenal work done by the government of India and its various bodies. We can proudly state that we produce more food than we need. We produce enough to feed the mouths of 1.4 billion Indians and then some more. However, the problem therefore has shifted to another part of the food supply chain, and that was our observation. We lose as much food as what Brazil consumes between the farm gate and the retail point alone. We don't lose much food at the retailer. We don't lose much food at our homes. But between the farm gate and the retailer, we were losing more than what Brazil consumes. 14.7 to 18% of food is lost, depending on whether you believe FAO or IFC. So this is this looked like a supply chain problem to us, and that's really where our interests lay, and therefore we said we should look at it. If we can minimize this food loss, pass on a portion of the lost benefit to the farmer, who can therefore achieve increased income, and retain a portion of it as a company. Notice that I'm not saying pass on a benefit to the customer, and I'm saying that for a very good reason. I'm not saying that for a very good reason. But pass on some of this to the farmer, who is the weakest link in the supply chain, and retain some of the value. We would have created a business with purpose and which is also profitable. That was the thesis with which the company started. Herein is where we come into our operational learnings. We started with a hypothesis. Why is our company called Way Cool? We assumed that cold chains are the answer to the problem that we are at hand. That was the hypothesis with which we went in. That hypothesis changed in 1 week. We simply walked down in reverse through every supply chain of fresh produce. We walked down the tomato supply chain from Coimbatore market to Oddapalle near Madanapalli, which is the production area. We walked down the cabbage supply chain to Hosur. Immediately we realized that cold chain was not the answer. The reason is, you put something in a cold chain from the farm gate, you have all state-of-the-art technology, refrigerated trucks, refrigerated warehouses. The shop is not air conditioned. The product sweats. The product loses life very fast. In reality, you are harming the product by putting it in a cold chain. That was the first pivot, and pivoting is very hard to do, and that was something that we learned was necessary in building out businesses. Constantly putting out a hypothesis, validating or invalidating it, and shifting directions while sticking to those 3 guiding principles is a better way to build a business than to actually go by a business plan. We have made many such pivots. The first pivot was moving from just a cold chain company to a direct supply chain company, when we realized that the problem really was that our farms are fragmented and our retail points are fragmented, and because these are fragmented, we have many intermediaries along the way. If I build a direct supply chain, I reduce the costs of intermediation and therefore make it more efficient. By the way, the statement that I'm telling you is not entirely correct. I'll come to why it's not correct shortly. But this was the first pivot that we made, saying, I'd rather build a direct supply chain rather than a cold chain. The second pivot that we made was from going from B2C to B2B. We said that, B2C is a market which is very tempting because you directly face the consumer, and you have a brand that's out there, you are engaging with the consumer, the margins at the last bit of the supply chain appear high. But we couldn't figure out a way to make the unit economics work. We also couldn't figure out how we'll ever raise funds, because the moment you raise funds, the investors are all foreign institutional investors. You go above 50% holding, you cannot do retail. So we actually made a difficult pivot from B2C to B2B. And the third pivot that we made in our journey was to go from institutional clients to retailers as our clients. It's tempting to work with large institutional clients like hotels, restaurants, QSR chains, etc., to supply food products to them. But we have to remember the working capital cycles. You'll have to keep deploying more and more capital into the business in order to scale the business, and that was not something we wanted to do. So we quickly moved away from a simpler customer model to a more complex customer model. So one learning that we've had is, this is not a linear journey. There is a continual series of hypothesis testing and pivots. We have made at least 13 pivots in our journey in the last 7.5 years. The second lesson that we learned is to be able to horizontally deploy knowledge from one sector to the other with due respect to both sectors. I described earlier that by putting a direct supply chain in place, we'll be able to solve this problem. We failed. We were procuring directly from farmers, processing it in our processing centers. We have 25 collection centers, 22 processing units like factories, and about 50 distribution centers through which we deliver our products, but we failed. The reason is, we realized that the gap between supply and demand, it's not just all the costs like repeated intermediary charges, handling charges that matter. It is the fact that there is no correlation between supply and demand. Farmers produce what they are producing for ages. They will produce based on what their parents told them, what the seed seller near the mandi tells them. If the mandi prices go up because arrivals are low, the farmer interprets it as an increase in demand and they will just produce. And then there is excessive supply, so you will read headlines about tomatoes being dumped on the roads. 4.5 months, once in 4.5 months, challenge me if I am wrong, you will find a headline saying tomato prices are 60 rupees and then tomato prices are being dumped on the road. Whereas we don't consume 60 times more tomato when the price crashes to 1 rupee. Demand is completely inelastic. It has even now become independent of season. Yet supply is up and down. This is what is called the bullwhip effect. When you push a string you see waviness along the string. That's essentially the bullwhip effect in a supply chain, and that's really what we realized we had to combat. This is what the auto industry solved 35 years ago. The auto industry produces completely to demand. It doesn't produce based on supply. It doesn't push products into the supply chain. And what we have been trying to do is to deploy the learnings from the auto industry, where we forecast our demand a little in advance, harvest according to demand, and provide exactly what the demand is to the market, and therefore reduce the food loss in the supply chain from anywhere between 14 to 18% to 0.7 to 4%. That's the shift that a lean pull-based supply chain enables, and that knowledge completely came from the automotive industry. So horizontal deployment of knowledge from one industry to the other was the second learning that we took away from this. The third learning, and this is why I said I don't pass on my cost savings to the customer, is it is always better to differentiate than to be based on cost. When I started the business with fresh produce, then I quickly got into staples, because staples had greater stability in the business model. I launched rice just like I was selling fruits and vegetables to the retailer. Every hyper-funded startup in Bangalore came and undercut me. They were all selling at minus 10% gross margin, and they were undercutting me. We very quickly realized that this is a race to the bottom. This is not going to lead us anywhere. So we pivoted the strategy. We said we will brand our products. We will make sure that the product has a promise. A brand can't be just a label. So all our rices are single origin rices. They are separately branded according, whether it's a Manachanallur Ponni or whether it is a Andhra Ponni, they are separately branded and sold according to those origins. The product performance is distinctly better. For example, if you are selling urad dal or rice, idli rice, the yields in terms of cups of batter will be consistent and better than what's available in the market, only because we don't mix. There's nothing else we do. We just don't mix or blend. We sell single origins. That helped us defend our margins better, and slowly the competition that went on price got pushed away. The insight for this actually came from the customer. We went to the arisi mandis or rice mandis as they call them over here and observed how the customer was buying. We realized that she or he was buying the second or third highest priced rice, not the least expensive rice. The proxy was price for quality. So they felt that higher price is higher quality. At the same time, they felt guilty buying the most expensive rice. So second or third highest price rice was selling the most. So we said we'll price it at that point. So differentiation rather than cost is a third operational learning that we had. To summarize, there is no single business plan with which you can build a business. There is continual hypothesis testing and pivots based on the hypothesis testing. That's lesson number one. Lesson number two, we should not be afraid to horizontally deploy learnings from one sector to the other if we discover that the problem is the same. And the third lesson is that it is always better to differentiate than to work on cost, otherwise it's a race to the bottom. This brings us to where technology is applicable. To do a lot of what we described, we need fairly heavy-duty technology. We had a very engaging session on AI recently, just now. I am able to forecast my requirement of tomato 48 hours in advance, 24 hours before a farmer harvests, at 82 to 84% accuracy. And that's completely because of machine learning algorithms and artificial intelligence. We are able to literally predict that the pin code that refers to Mahindra World City will see a deflation of demand during a festive season or a festive holiday, whereas Adyar will see an inflation of demand because people are coming in from Bangalore to visit their parents in Adyar, and people are going from Mahindra World City to their native places during the holidays. And technology helps us envisage this. Second area where AI helps us, we are able to offer Nellore Ponni or HMT Miryalgoda special rice in Manapakam and Kolapakam, whereas we offer Manachanallur Ponni in Maraimalai Nagar, because the population has an Andhra base in Manapakam and Kolapakam, and the population has a Trichy base. And this is not done by humans. This is done by tapping into 225 data points in Google and looking at the recommendation engine that has been built on top of this data points as well as our own data. The third example, we just don't stop at buying from the farmer. We have a deep agricultural extension program with the farmers. So we work with the farmers even in crop planning and during the crop cycle. Our farmers today can use their mobile phones, hover their camera over a leaf and detect up to 100 diseases of 22 crops. using a data bank of 25 million images on which it has been trained. Our farmers can buy a 30,000 rupee IoT device which they plant into the field, and we can tell them that powdery mildew is going to hit their grapes 2 weeks in advance of the disease actually occurring, and they can take predictive and preventive action. These are necessary to reduce the risk in the supply chain. What we don't realize is that in all our businesses and trades, if you take higher risk, you get higher returns. If you put in higher effort, you get higher returns. But the farmer takes the highest risk, puts the maximum effort, and gets the least returns. If we can do anything to change this situation, that is helpful, and this is where technology is applied in fruits and vegetables. It's as basic an industry as that we are able to leverage this much of tech. The other application of technology, which a lot of you would have been familiar with, is governance and controls. You know, we keep talking about ease of doing business in India. I still remember when I started the company, I mean, actually, frankly, from the government side, ease of doing business has genuinely improved, right? When I started this business, I had to take a DIN, a DSC, a SIN, a TAN, a TIN, and a PAN. Only Shinchan was missing in all of this. It took me 6 weeks to start up. I set up my 7th subsidiary last month, and it took me 1 week. So ease of doing business is from the government side is definitely improving. However, we make it difficult to run our own businesses in India. That's a harsh fact that we cannot escape. As customers, we don't pay. As employees, we are opportunistic, and as suppliers, we compromise on quality. I mean, I'm being very blunt over here, but this is a reality. So in all of this, governance becomes key, and all our technology deployment has been in governance, and this is something I'll urge everyone to do. To start with, how do you know whether the shop really exists where your salesperson claims he's taking an order from? We have to capture a video KYC which is instantly connected to the Aadhaar and PAN database and validated, saying yes, the shop indeed exists, this person is the owner of the shop, and the owner and the shop are linked, because we can tap into FSSAI database as well. So that is instant verification where technology can help you. How do you know whether the order really came? OTP. How do you know whether it was delivered? Again, a confirmatory OTP. How do you know whether the payment is actually being returned? QR code to collect the payments. Technology application in the business is extremely helpful for governance, and this is where all of us struggle and fail, and we have enough scars on our back in terms of losses because governance issues were there. And the third is very common: aggregation of demand and aggregation of supply. Any technology platform and application can be used to aggregate demand and aggregate supply. We need that because I work with now 200,000 farmers. I work with 125,000 retailers. Only technology can be used to aggregate all of these. So technology is now a feature in every business we do, no matter how mundane it is, and this is something that we're better off embracing rather than avoiding. This brings me to a fourth learning that we had in terms of physical automation of our businesses. So what do? We buy products. In some cases, we mill them, we change the form of the product, we add value to them, we pack them, and then we deliver it through distribution centers. This is a traditional supply chain is very, very human intensive. Now, if I were to run a simple operation where I get 1 truck of rice, unload it, repack it and deliver it in the traditional model uses as many as 183 people to run such a facility. And by the way, when we started, we were running something similar. Just unloading a series of rice trucks requires 25 hamalis who will have those hooks, they will unload the gunny bags and they will place it, and that's the way it operates. Right? We use one. We just use one person to unload a full truck because he operates a remote control telescopic conveyor which goes right into the truck and he just pulls the bag on top and then it's taken care of. Now, people ask me all the time, why so much automation in such a basic industry? The reason is, we have to realize that the cost of human effort in India is far higher than we think it is. We are a middle income country already, especially the southern part of India is already middle income, and the middle income trap is very much prevalent upon us. A lot of the male workforce doesn't really work and they're constantly switching jobs. The cost of physical labor is high, not just because of their absolute labor cost, but also because of the number of times they keep turning over and the number of times you have to keep reskilling them. More importantly, the cost of governing that labor is very high. Layers and layers of supervision and management. The cost of leakages of so many laborers coming in is extremely high. The second is errors. You'll unload a gunny bag of tomato. You'll feed in 475 kg instead of 47.5 kg into your ERP system. Payment goes for 475 kgs. Inventory shows 475 kgs. Physically you have only 47.5 kgs, you'll go fire the manager. Automation eliminates errors. In our case, all our products, when they reach our warehouse, they're in pre-barcoded crates, they pass through a check weigher. There'll be a screen with no human behind it, it'll open up. It's quite eerie if you visit our warehouses. Bhargav sir, if you visit now, you'll see it. The screen will open, the weight is automatically taken, GRN is automatically done, and it is sent downward, where another barcode is scanned, and it's mapped to a customer order. A robot simply pushes the crate out to the customer. That's how automation works. The warehouse that used to employ 185 people uses 62 people today. And this is necessary for us to embrace, because that brings it to the third reason why, scalability. For us, our warehouses are templatized. If I have to build a new warehouse, it's one PO. We place it to the third party who builds these lines for us. We own the IPR, but they fabricate it for us, and they just build it, and it's a templatized operation. We don't need skills to run our facility. This is necessary because it's necessary to think very large in the context of India. We say that we are working with 100,000 retailers or so. There are 12 million retail outlets in India. We are nothing compared to the scale of the country. So for us to build any meaningful business, it has to be large. For me to make a meaningful dent on the food losses that we are experiencing, I have to do something large. And for that, you need scalability, and automation is necessary. The reason I'm emphasizing upon this is we don't think of automation naturally in most of the business that we do. We think India's labor is available in plenty, it is inexpensive, so why don't we just go with it? Or with many scars on the back, I can tell you that labor is not cheap in India. Please think about automation. The fifth is, and all along this journey, see, we are in a sector that's very, very sensitive. We deal with a large number of smallhold and mid-sized farmers. We deal with a large number of small retailers. There is enough scope for wrong decisions to happen at various levels. And our company has 2,200 people. Any manager anywhere can take a wrong decision. Values being ingrained as a feature is something we learned really early. And the reason we learned this was because we were born in Chennai. Now, I'm not talking about some esoteric Chennai values thing over here. Right? We have faced 3 floods, 2 cyclones, 1 sitting CM and 1 ex-chief minister passing away. We had the Jallikattu crisis and then 3 COVID lockdowns. This is a city that tests you very seriously. And we found that the company's values were on display during the toughest times. We have 3 values: humble, humane, and hungry. These are not words that myself or Sanjay or any of the leadership team cooked up. These were observations which we captured, which showed when was the company operating at its best. In 2015 December, when we were a small no-name company and the city was flooded, and every one of the employees waded through 4 feet of water, came and said, we will deliver irrespective of floods. These values were at display. So today we use our values as a guide whenever decisions have to be taken. Many of you are aware there is a funding winter underway. The first thing that many companies do is lay off people. The first thing we did was go out there and said we will not lay off people. Similarly, when COVID struck, the first thing people said was, employees, you are on your own, you guys figure out what you want to do. We are laying you off again. This happened in March when the first lockdown was announced. Nobody guided this, but a junior accounts executive and the CFO independently decided to put 10,000 rupees in the bank account of everybody 4 hours before the lockdown was declared, and brought a mobile ATM to every warehouse so that they could actually withdraw the cash as well. This was not a top-down directive. It was done independently by a team. When a farmer posted on social media that he is not able to liquidate his stock, a junior purchase manager sitting in Coimbatore called up the farmer quietly, lifted the entire 100 tons of cabbage and liquidated it for a profit and gave it to the farmer. This was not driven centrally. Somebody did it locally. So these values become important guides. I mean, his decision was guided by the values. His decision was not guided by somebody sitting on the top. We have had enough deviations from these values also. So I'm not here to give you a rosy picture or anything. We have had deviations from these values, or we have had to take action. But more than rules, we found values to be useful. Rules create employees, values create warriors. That was the lesson that we learned. And the last lesson that we have learned in our journey is that the future comes on to us much faster than we think it will. And therefore, it is extremely critical to be future ready as a business. We are in the business of actually improving efficiency in the food supply chain and therefore making it a greener planet. But are we doing it in a greener way? Was one of the questions that we were asking ourselves. The fact is that you cannot, maybe I'm pessimistic here, but there is no way you can stop the planet from going up by 1.5 degrees Celsius. It is not possible. India is at the forefront when it comes to adopting climate friendly technologies. No country is even coming close to us, no matter what they present to you. Okay, this is hard data tells you this. But we didn't start the fire. The problem lies with the West, and the West is showing no signs of developing along these lines. They're still arguing their way through. They're still being dragged kicking and screaming. So you cannot prevent a 1.5 degrees Celsius increase. We see the effect of climate impact day in and day out. I remember the July before last in Rasipuram, we were planting a field of tomato. One of our outgrow agri-extension farmers was planting. The seedlings were blackened. Nobody expected temperatures to reach 47 degrees Celsius in July. And in Rasipuram, it hit 47 degrees Celsius, the seedlings got blackened. We are seeing this live. It's upon us. Large parts of Deccan Plateau can become scorched earth if we are not careful at that 1.5 degrees Celsius. So it has become necessary for us to build climate smartness into anything that we do as a business. We have attempted to do this in a few ways. The first, of course, is reducing food loss itself. We have an estimate. We've now built a dashboard that automatically captures the information from our network of applications on what is the avoided carbon emissions. From April to today of this financial year, we have avoided food loss of 21,500 tons, which has resulted in 5,921 tons of CO2 emissions being avoided. So the core purpose of the business is being achieved not just because our farmers earn a little more, they earn about 15 to 35% more, but also because the carbon emissions are being reduced. Second, we also reduce food miles. For example, we had a strange issue in India. Assam is a large consumer of potatoes, but the potatoes are grown in Bengal. The potato is fed from Bengal to Assam, and the truck comes back largely empty because Assam doesn't send much back to Bengal. The per capita income of Rampur Hat belt in Bengal is higher than the per capita income in Assam. So you have a basic low value commodity being transported 1,000 kilometers. It looks small in the maps, but believe me, it's 1,000 kilometers. 1,000 kilometers from a high per capita income area to a low per capita income area. So we now are growing a climate resilient variety of potato. We have our own tubers, and we're working with about 25,000 farmers in Assam to grow the potato in Assam, avoid 1,000 kilometers of food miles, improve the per capita income over there, and reduce the cost of potato for that local belt. So this is another example of how we believe we should think. And by the way, this is not our idea. Somebody in the government came up with this idea. We said, "Hum karenge." We put up our hand and said, "We will do it. We have the varieties to do it, and it suits our purpose." So I will not claim credit for the originality of the idea, but it is being done on the ground. And the third is how we run the business itself. Are we treading lightly? It's a question that we have been forced to ask ourselves quite often. Today, we have managed to take 22% of our fleet to electric. We aren't able to do more because we don't have electric four-wheelers in commercial yet. But while doing this, we have also tried to make sure that it makes business sense. If I had replaced a diesel vehicle with an electric vehicle, frankly, I would have spent more. But we rerouted our entire deliveries so that we now are spending 11% less by using electric vehicles than using diesel vehicles. We are completely off-grid in most of our units. We run off rooftop solar and a combination of rooftop solar and storage. And that has again saved us between 15 and 25% of cost. And we are a zero liquid discharge company. We take groundwater, reprocess it multiple times, and then feed it back to the ground. And not because we are saving money. In India, water is given free to all of us. But people charge you for sewage. All the warehouses are located in areas with septic tanks. To clear the septic tank is 1,500 rupees per honeysucker, as they euphemistically call that truck. So we actually saved money on sewage disposal and are today able to justify the cost of a working STP in 3 years payback. So these are ideas that the teams came up with, which are both climate smart and business smart. And we believe the time has come for us to do a lot more along these lines. We are continuing to learn. For example, we learnt about regenerative agriculture and how that can strengthen the soil. And we've now made one farm in Hosur where the soil strength has actually improved from 0.35% soil organic carbon content to 0.75%. If it comes to 3.5%, you don't need to use fertilizer. But many people are teaching us. We work with universities such as UHS, Bagalkot, TNAU, and several other such universities where they teach us. But the summary is that there is so much of knowledge that's already available, but people have to start piecing these together and building this as part of our business plan. And it will actually help you in your ROI as well. So these are the learnings that we have had in our brief journey so far. Again, please take these as the palavering of a 7.5-year-old. I keep telling my team we are in second standard. We have a long way to go. And we'll continue to share learnings as we continue to move along. Thank you for your attention. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, Mr. Karthik Jayaramanji, for this interesting talk with ample statistics and points to note. I request our founder Anandji to please hand over a memento to our Karthik Jayaramanji. We are going to listen to the next interesting talk from Sri Shyam Sundarji. Shyam Sundar Subbarao is an international renewable energy consultant, currently head of NIE Crest. He is an associate professor of Department of Mechanical Engineering in the National Institute of Engineering, Mysore. He has also secured a master's degree from University of Oldenburg, Germany. He has specialized in biogas technology from kitchen waste for electricity. He has over 10 plus years of experience in this field, and his awards include Best Engineer Award, Lions Club Awards, Scholarship of his studies at DAAD, Germany. Happily presenting Shyam Sundar Subbarao.
Good afternoon, everybody. It will not be a talk, it will be my wrap up from the part of the trust, because Karthikeyan Jayaraman has already told most of the innovations which carry a lot of weightage, and there is a lot of innovation opportunities for all of us to take it up from the BBB fraternity. So, Bidyuth 2023 was a great event on behalf of the trust, on behalf of the BBB trust. I want to put on records that what we have given, the three words, excel, we want to state here and also put it in writing that all the three chapters from Chennai has made the event to the point of excel. We have excelled. And the next one is explore. I definitely take this opportunity to tell that we have explored all the opportunities to the full extent. Thank you very much for all the teams. Engaged. We are engaged fully. Not only here. I go outside, everybody talking. I go to the first floor, we see the day we entered in, even during the check-in time, we were all engaged in getting networking. So that was a very wonderful 2-day event. Thanks for everybody. What a 2-day it was. I totally forgot to count the time. I'm now thinking that, okay, it is coming to the conclusion, but not. It is giving way forward for Bidyuth 2024. And thanks to the Hyderabad team, the Bhagyanagar, taking up in a big way to make it a grand success. What a beautiful 2-day sessions we had from Jagannath, Dr. Hari and his wife Emma Hari about Indian history, how Brahminical community did, about the cows, yoga sessions by Madam, it was so wonderful, and mandolin by the siblings, M.R. Venkatesh presenting, P.S. Suresh, knowledge sessions. We have in our Vedas, noble thoughts flow from all direction. It indeed did in these 2 days. Thank you very much for all of you to give your noble thoughts here and make this August gathering enlightened. And we have the other thing, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. The world is one family. Now I declare here that BBB is one family. That's for 100% sure. So the BBB family, with this Bandhavya, we are moving forward. It's a great thing that we have been achieved, and the platform, we are really enlightened that creating a platform itself has created so much of synergy. 2 plus 3 is not 5 anymore. 2 plus 3 is more than 5 cube. It has become, and what a wonderful way forward for all of us in networking, and that was a great opportunity from all of you at the Chennai chapter, and we learned many things came up here, and I think Bidyuth had innovations, definitely incubations. I think many startups will come, and lot of creativity. Creativity was to the core that we have to really appreciate, and our Brahminical thought process, what we have in gene. I think there were not many platforms to express these things, and the elders who are really learned were able to tell this to all of us, and also show us that there are different things that we have to know in this was a great thing. And I definitely am sure that all of us will go back with great, not only memories, with great incubating ideas, with great innovations, and with great networking. I think we will become number one in our community to get network, and the Bandhavya will continue. With this, I also, we on the behalf of the trust, we really congratulate all the chapters of BBB Chennai here to doing this wonderful opportunities for all of us to make this a very successful event. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Shyam Sundarji, for the nice feedback and thoughts about the conference. Always aim at a complete harmony of thoughts and words and deeds, says Mahatma Gandhiji. That is the kind of harmony this conference has given us. Here is a man who is the founder and managing director of Harmony Residencies Private Limited. I request Sri Ramakrishnan, fondly known as Tala, to give the conference sum up.
For the record, Bidyuth 2023 was organized with the support of all the chapters of BBB in Tamil Nadu. That includes BBB Sirvani, Coimbatore, Ramanuja Trichy, and Aditya of Tirupur, and of course our own 3 chapters who had to do the Lions job for these last 1.5 months or so. What I'm really, I'm actually amazed at the magic that was created by all of us meeting together. Most of us for the first time. You see, from the time of last Bidyuth to this time, We had grown to 23 chapters. Many of us knew each other, have met with each other. But we had also grown geographically. We had started in Kerala. We have started in Goa, Dharwar, and new chapters have been formed. But how long did it take for us to just come together like magic? It was sheer magic, wasn't it? You know, it was, I don't know whether to call it a magic or a miracle, such synergy that can only be created by that kind of like-mindedness that all of us have. You know, the same thought process. So I just want to share some thoughts, because we are serious businessmen. We are Brahmins, so we are very cautious, serious businessmen. Although we exhibited some of the qualities of Kshatriyas, other Varnas also late night yesterday in our entertainment. I think, as a preparatory to the Bidyuth 2023, we had our Mitra Sangamam program at Coimbatore, which was a kind of a dry run that enabled us to make the plans for this particular event. So kudos to Shri Muralidharan, who was the chairman for that event, and all the participating chapters of Tamil Nadu who did that dry run, which was primarily, if you see, was a KYT kind of a conclave. If you look at it in simple terms, we just engaged. We engaged with each other and explored with each other. But in this particular Bidyuth, we had to do something more. We had to go beyond the Bidyuths that we had traveled so far. After all, we are 6 years old. We had going to reach 1,000 members. We cannot just afford to stop with engaging. So we had concepts that we can't say we did full justice to this time, like the CCC clusters, the program that we had, or the consulting cafes or Explorer Forum. But I think I'm very confident that in all the new things that we did to explore and excel, we have really made a great start. We really made a great start. Because the success of Bidyuth doesn't just come with this one day engaging and making merry and trying to, as far as possible, explore maximum business cards with each other. The success comes when you follow up on the connections that have been made here and really think through how we can spend our time productively at BBB. One very serious thing when we designed Bidyuth 2023 was we wanted to really value the every minute of time spent by every delegate here in Chennai. That was very, very sensitive point for us. So to extend the same idea, I think we need to very seriously plan our time in which we spend for engaging in BBB activities. We have our domestic challenges, we have our business, but when we give our BBB time both at the meetings and in between meetings, we give it very seriously and we manage the time and plan our time for the whole year. So I hope that Bidyuth 2023 gives you an idea of the possibilities that go beyond just engaging with each other. Doing KYTs is important. Going the breadth, knowing as many people is very important, but probably doing multiple KYTs, maybe exploding your business opportunities, carefully identifying your partners and collaborators in your core competency clusters could be the way you break even and you increase the percentage of revenue that you generate through BBB. So let Bidyuth 2023 be the seed. As the coordinator for the training program for 2023, I want to also alert the management committee of all the chapters that we will be rolling out the training programs every quarter. We'll be in touch with you to ensure that whatever we learn through such engagements when we come with each other is actually actively put to practice, so that we let good money come into the hands of good people. Thank you so much.
That was a nice big brother pat for the work done with the right advice for the future. Thanks, Ramki sir. Keep inspiring and guiding us. Successful people are not gifted. They just work hard, then succeed in the purpose. A great team of people have worked behind the success of this Bidyuth 2023, and now is the time for the formal vote of thanks. I invite Sri Murali Margabandhu to deliver vote of thanks.
Before we do that, there are some announcements that the founder trustee, Mr. Ananta Agaraj would make. So request him to kindly address.
Firstly, many congratulations to all the award winners today. Many congratulations to Saram Vishweshwarya for bagging the first Best Team Award for the year 2023. And many congratulations again to the whole organizing committee for Bidyuth 2023. When we all decided that Bidyuth 23 will happen in Chennai during May 2022, we all sat and we were telling Ramki and his team saying that Bidyuth will come to Chennai. He said only one sentence: boss, you leave it to us. We will do it in our style. That is all I can assure you. And under his leadership and Rajaramji's leadership, Muraliji's leadership, list goes on and on. Dr. Sandhya ji, you all have done a great job. Many congratulations. You have set the bench so high. Hyderabad, I'm sure you are watching. So you have to start working from yesterday, not even from today. Yeah, so already they have gone. Wonderful, I'm happy about it. So they have started working on it. So excellent. I welcome you all to Bidyuth 2024 Hyderabad. Now you know the destination. So every end has a new beginning. Last 2 days, there was divinity, sanctity, in the close vicinity, integrity, whatnot. So much we did in the last 2 days, and it is coming to an end. We are going with a heavy heart. I wish you all safe journey back home, and continue to do the good job you are doing at the chapter level, and gear up for next bigger events to come, BCL at Coimbatore, Bidyuth at Hyderabad. Now, what is this conference all about? Why do we meet? So still we are in the pursuit of asking so many questions. As our young chap told in the morning, we have 3 kind of people. One come for enjoyment, one come for business, one come, they have their own priorities. But these kind of conferences will help us make some quick breakthroughs. So one such instance happened immediately after Dr. Hariji from Bharat Gyan. Do we have Mr. Dr. Hariji? Sir, please be welcomed on the dais. Mr. and Mrs. Dr. Harish of Bharat Gyan, I request them to please come on the dais. Immediately after the program, when we went out, the couple, they just announced, they just proposed, they gave a proposal in front of the trust saying that they have a 2-year course. Sir, you please take the liberty of correcting me wherever I go wrong. Please come on the dais, sir. So they offered to BBB. They have a course tied up with it's a certification course, which will cost about 1,60,000 rupees for a member. It is a 2-year course, weekend course, where after the certification, he or she will be certified to speak about this Sanatana Dharma, about Bharatiya Samskara, Samskriti, Samskrita, whatever, in whatever forums, in wherever they can, whatever they can. So that is the kind of accolade what they will get after getting the certification from this program. So they have offered to BBB that this course can be free of cost. This course can be free of cost. Mike. Yeah. So a course which will cost about 1,60,000 rupees to a common man will come at no cost to a BBB member. This is the kind of value addition what you will get you becoming a BBB member. And also today, on this very dais, on the auspicious occasion of the valedictory program, the BBB Trust is signing an MOU with Bharat Gan. All yours, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Anand, for giving this opportunity to speak. I said I'll speak for 3 minutes, nothing more. Because yesterday we have spoken all that we need to. Thank you. And see, this came out of the love and affection all of you showed with the standing ovation that you all gave us. Actually, it stemmed out of that idea. And the idea was formed here between Mr. Anand, myself, my wife, and here, this gentleman here. You know this nice, handsome young chap? Okay, so the idea actually stemmed out of that. So what we said is, the way you appreciated us in speaking about the knowledge of our civilization, we can train those interested in you to speak like us with content in 2 years' time. The whole range. And the point is, as he said, the course, it's every Saturday, 8:30 p.m. to 10:30 p.m. online. It's conducted by a university in USA called Hindu University America, Orlando, Florida. It's an internationally certificate course by an internationally recognized university. The point is, for Hindus to teach Hinduism, there is no university in India that teaches Hinduism. In India, the only university that teaches Hinduism to Hindus is a university in America. That's a reality. Sad, but reality. So we are one of the premier faculties there. We do it online. So actually, without even talking to the president of the university yesterday evening, I gave the offer. The course is what? It's $200 US dollars per quarter of 10 sessions into 4 quarters a year. Because in Tamil Nadu and Karnataka, we are all aware of what is a quarter. It's a very popular item. Quarters are very popular. Because the quarters in America are very different. That's a dime quarter. So it's a correct between quarter and quarter, okay? And for 2 years, it is 8 quarters. As he said, that's the value. We have put the value. So what's happening is, it's a full circular course that we offer of Hinduism, which my wife will explain to you what the course is. It gives you a full bird's eye view in about 80 sessions of 100 to 120 minutes of what this course is. It's all available in our website. We're showing you for your perusal here.
Yes, on Saturday nights, 8:30 to 10:30, just once a week for 10 weekends in 1 quarter. So every 3 months, just 10 weekends. And with that, we look at it from 2 perspectives. One is to understand ourselves as Hindus. So which will be, there are 4 courses. You have Exploring Hinduism, where we understand right from our geography, history, what it endows us with, then our divinities, our dharma, our cosmology, calendars and society, culture. So this is one aspect that helps us to understand ourselves. And the second part is, how have we contributed to this world? So that will tell us our worth, which we ourselves don't know. We realize it, then we can share it with the world as well. So that is the second part. So in the realm of matter, we have contributed. We have contributed in the realm of mind also. We saw how we straddle subtle and gross. So these are 4 sets of courses, the big 5 that we have contributed, how we have been a game changer. Then the sciences and arts we have given as a civilization to the world. So these are 8 sets of courses which go as a circle. So people can enter and exit anywhere. Like you have hop on, hop off in London, the bus tour. You enter anywhere. At the moment you complete these 8 courses, so if there are youngsters in your homes, in your families, you can put them on. They will get credits, US course credits from the university, 12 credits at the end of 8 quarters, which they can, so by the time NEP in India would also be firmly stabilized, so they can use it, and being international credits, they can use it anywhere in the world. So that opens up. So they are going to grow with, the pride of being a Hindu, and of course the pride of being a Brahmin, because you will be educating them at home as well, and they will have their international credits too. So this is something that we thought it will be valuable to all of us in this room here.
So what we're doing is, yesterday what you all probably said is you have 22 chapters, 23 chapters, right? So each chapter, if you want, you can bring in 10 members, enroll yourself for the course. That means it comes to about 225 enrollments, okay? And it's the cost is per student is, that's what you put there, per, see. So it's totally, the calculation is there. It costs us about 3 crore plus rupees for offering this course to BBB. Free. We will go around saying Bhavati Bhikshantehi to patrons in US to pay the university directly on your behalf. So you can do the course free. Okay, that's the value we're offering you. It's Gyan Dan. It's Gyan Dan for all of you to use. The opportunity is there. Thank you for your standing ovation. So opportunity is there for you to use. So you in turn can go and talk to many people about what is Bharatiya culture, Sanatana Dharma and Hinduism. You can write blog articles, you can go talk in YouTube channels, so that if people ask you, what authority do you have to talk on Hinduism or Sanatana? You can say, I am certified to do it. I have a qualification to do it. That's it. Because in other forms of religion, they are qualified to talk about religion. Whereas we don't have, here you get a proper international qualification certificate to talk on Hinduism on any TV platform, any online platform, blog articles, any forum will be. That is what we are trying to train people across the world to do, and we're giving this offer exclusively for BB. Don't say that, see, because the moment you bring more students, then we have to do more Bhavati Bhikshantehi. Today we can do it with an Angavastram, tomorrow I have to take a bedsheet, that's all. As simple as that. So that's what we're offering. So it's for you all to enroll. There's a process to enroll. See, everything is very systematic. It's an internationally designed course. There are processes you have to do by. She'll explain what the processes are. That is, the details are in the Bharat Gyan website. You have to go link. You have to apply for it from your personal email ID only. And they ask you everything from your Aadhaar card, everything it asks for. Then that will be forward. Once you apply there, actually one person has already applied. I think Kritika Srinivasan, lady, has already applied last night. So those who want, then what it will do is, it will take that to the university. The university will scrutinize your data. Then only an admission officer from the university will call you and speak to you for 5-10 minutes to ensure whether you're really interested, whether you're really capable of doing the course. Then they will put it to the panel, get approval. Once that is done, then once the university gives us a list of how many people they're going to accommodate, admit, then we'll have to go to the donors to get the donation. For that, there's a basis for this. We have MOU. So there's a big process. Then, as he said, whatever you want to donate later, add more people, that's all we can do. That's a cyclical process. So welcome once again to this offer. Let's all please use it to spread the knowledge of Sanatana Dharma very well to everybody in the world in a knowledgeable way. Thank you so much for this offer. Thank you.
Why don't you use the table?
So there will be monitors from BBB to ensure that those who register for the course do well. There's a total process to it that will be followed. Thank you so much. Any age group, from the age group of 16 to 60 plus, we have students who are 15, 16, we have students who are 60 plus. They are all PhD postdoctoral in Hinduism are our students. Students who are bright students from age 15, 16 also are students. So we have a whole range of people who teach others. That's also there. Thank you. Welcome. Namaste.
Thank you, sir. As a small token of gratitude, we request you to please accept this. Handmade dolls from one of our members. Ladies and gentlemen, Karthikeyan ji, Murthy ji, Yaran Murthy ji. Without the dignitaries on the dais, this announcement will not be validated. So, sir, please. So, big announcement. You've been hearing about this for quite some time now. I was overhearing someone, sir, whenever we meet in Bidyuth or some big events, the trust always says, we are working on e-commerce, we are working on something big. When is it coming? We are really thrilled to be part of this. After listening to Karthikeyan ji today, what a great business model, what a great case study we have right in front of us. Now, e-commerce is going to be a reality. Less than a month time, we'll be announcing the name of the company. The process of registering a public company has already begun. The trust, as I said yesterday, we had the limitation of not doing business through trust. So the trust will be mooting a special utility program, a different initiative in which all the members will be involved, will be carried along in this movement. So it is going to be really big. So we are getting into e-commerce. You must have already had the first feeler of it. We have the beta version of beehive.store, which is available to you. Most of you have already uploaded your products, listed your products. The store is ready. Only thing is couple of plug points to be done there for last mile tracking, the supply chain management. The payment gateway system is to be integrated, and we are ready. With this kind of network, we all are the ambassadors, we all are the marketing gurus, marketing agents for each one of us. So let us go all out and promote. More information will follow in the days to come. We have already given couple of names in the corporate affair, in the Ministry of Corporate Affairs. So hopefully we are expecting the name to be available by end of this week. So more information will follow at the chapter level. So be prepared, scale up, upskill yourself. Karthikeyan sir, so we'll be bothering you with your case studies. The pivots, what you have prepared will be a ready reckoner for us. It will give a lot of direction. And this very hall have a lot of marketing gurus, techies who can definitely come forward, and we can definitely grow really, really big. So this is one announcement I just wanted to make in front of you today. Together we will, together we remain, together we progress. Sange Shakti Kalavige. Jai Hind. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the heart-filling announcements and the gifts we have and the takeaways we have. And here comes Murali Margabandhu to give the vote of thanks.
Right from my days of having been office bearer of Lions Club and many NGOs, and in my offices, I used to have one of my secretaries who used to say, "Sir, 30 seconds." I'm having a command from my chairman saying that, "Murali, 5 minutes, not more than that." I will. You can make that.
There is a saying in Kannada, "Maduve agodre neenu ganda" anta.
I don't understand. Can you please translate for us?
Not necessary thing. May I request all the key organizers to come on the stage, please, of Bidyuth 2023.
The people who worked in the entire team, the 6, different areas. So, like our chairman wants us to be there on stage. Kindly come over, please. It's his personal request. Yes, please come over. All of you had been in the team who had done all the work. Please. All the Spocks, all those who, took us to the sponsors, the team which did the legwork, brain work, everybody, please. All of you, please come over. Consulting Cafe, Explorers Forum, KYT team, all the teams, all the 6 teams.
Mr. Prabhu Setharaman and Ramesh, South Madras, please come on stage. In fact, Mr. Prabhu Setharaman really helped me to conduct the Consulting Cafe session today. Thank you very much, sir. Please come on. And Ramesh from South Madras, who was actually the key for the entire KYT launch. Please come on stage.
You will have to bear with us because this is something which our EC chairman threw a surprise on us. And sir, thank you so much. Thank you, sir. It was not in the agenda anyway. Is there anybody missing who is not here? Dr. Bharat, who is missing? Naveen Krishna, Dr. Bharat seem to be missing here. Which Murli? Murli is here. Aditya. Where is Aditya? Goteti. Yep. Thank you all. Where is Kamal? Daya? Where is our Daya? We had a lot of Daya from him. Yeah. So thank you all. Thank you so much. Let's get over the... Thank you all. Sorry, okay. So, my time, which started few minutes, a minute back. Can I have? Where is my paper? One second.
என்னது பின்னாடி பாக்கெட்ல வச்சு
Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. The dignitaries had to leave for the airport, so they left early. This photo session was unplanned. We have not completed. Jai Hind and Janagana Mana has not been done. Hold on, please. few more minutes. Thank you so much.
Absolutely, I'm relaxed, always relaxed. You know what? I have something very interesting now happening. We, from the day, from the day we thought about having Bidyuth in Chennai, we have been working with surprises, okay? We have been working with challenges. And the last of the challenges that I'm facing now is, I prepared a big list of people whom I have to thank. What happened in the melee here, which happened, like everybody coming here, I missed the list. Lovely. Okay, that's the challenge which we are going to face now. So now I have a caveat. In case I am going to miss any names, right now I have my apologies to them. Start with that. Okay, good. Now, in the first place, I would like to thank, let's get serious onto this, okay? Because gratitude has to be serious. We have to thank the trust for having the absolute trust in us. They just did not question us on anything. We were given an absolute free hand. So we have to thank the trust. That is something which is very important here. And then what happened was, we started going on to the drawing board where the teams came together. All the chapters, they just simply started giving us people. And the kind of support we got from all the members, all our chapters, though we belong, they all come to our chapters, but still I'm supposed to thank them. And then for doing this even, we need money. Sponsors. You know what? There had been sponsors who just did not question. There are sponsors who took only 2 minutes to give us 3 lakhs. That's the kind of support we got from Avantgarde, Shankara Hospital, Forge, Super Auto Forge, just talking from my memory. Karnataka Bank, City Union Bank, we did not even meet them. Mr. Sudhakara called him and over phone he cleared. The bags that you are carrying with City Union Bank, it was sponsored, a couple of lakhs, was just given on the fly over a phone. Just imagine, the kind of support the moment you say we are from BBB. And then Equitas Bank, we have few banks here. They are now talking not about just sponsorship, they are talking also about relationships with us. And Bhushana members from here, from Coimbatore, 3 Bhushana members, just like that. They just sponsored, they took stalls, they did everything for us. And Europa, then who else I am missing? Hindu Mission Hospital. When we were talking about, we have to ensure that in case something happens, Hindu Mission Hospital came forward. You know what they said? Don't worry, in case something happens untoward, we will see that they are put in the hospital until such time they are put in the airport, we will take care. What a great gesture from them. Yeah, integrated finance. I've just mentioned all the 3. Ganesh Mill, Savitri Photo, and everybody from this thing. So, besides all this, that is one thing. But getting the sponsors, we need to identify the sponsors, right? For which we had our members from the team, people like Ravi Chandar, we did not have to go and meet the sponsor. He just got the money for us. Ravi Chandar got us 2 sponsorships for which we didn't have to do anything. He went and got just like that. XL Venkat took only 5 minutes to get us 3 lakhs. And our own Bhargav, our own Bhargav, Rajaram, Satyanarayana, our Murali, I don't know who else, SPS Murali, that's what. I said Murali, our own Murali. And then Shivaramalingam, then Sudhakara. Where is Mr. Sudhakaran? Sir, yeah. In fact, he got us 3 sponsorships. So, like that. So, like this, everybody, and Coimbatore, of course, I don't, because I already mentioned, Coimbatore, they self-sponsored, all our, our own members, Bhushana members. We just initially thought, or we did not have even a single doubt about this. And then we have to thank the hotel. In fact, many people had doubts and, they just fulfilled. Hablis came to our rescue when we were short of rooms. And food, I hope everybody enjoyed. The food was good. I didn't know because I couldn't take my lunch and dinner, so I don't know about how it was, but I hope it was good. And then when we have to speak about, sponsorships did not come just in form of money. It came in the form of underwriting. I need your help, Chairman, and Suresh, in case I'm missing some names. What you are seeing here on the screen, all this is sponsored by our own Manishankar from South Madras. Okay, and then the bags that we are carrying was given at cost by Veena. Underwriting, the profit was underwritten. And you know what? Like in Kalyanam, when we go, we are always given a Kattusarana Kootai, what we call in Tamil. I don't know what it's called in Kannada. That's given by... No, Tambula. We are talking about food. Like when you are traveling after the marriage, till tomorrow morning, you will be given food. That buddhi is being given to you today by SS caterers. Sriram and Sridhar. Your dinner is also taken care, my dear friends. Oh, really? I am sorry. I broke the surprise. I mean, our chairman wanted to keep it as a surprise. It is this man who went and got us 3 lakhs and another 50,000 rupees on his own without any support from us. Ravichandar, another 50,000. And you know what he has promised? Whatever shortage is there, he said he will cover it. Okay. We have such lovely... Yeah, Bidyuth platform. And the stalls you saw, all these stalls we did not pay for. He is not a member. He just gave the stall. He said, just pay me the transport charges. And this is, again, what we are carrying as our identity was given by our member. Where is Mr. Viswanathan Rensal? I don't know if he is there. Okay, anybody else I am missing in the... Because, all these I prepared and suddenly I find that my paper is missing. But I think I have covered almost everything. And then anybody else I am missing, I don't know. Directory printing, yes. You know what? You all know that we had been chasing you, and the directory printing, you all know how it happened, where people were doubtful. Last year it did not come, it came, all confusions. We have, in fact, 2 sets in directory. One is a directory, the other one is addendum. The directory was printed in just about 4 days. Addendum was printed in, believe me, 15 hours. It was delivered. Yeah, and that's not the end of it. Our team is much more capable. When we had to make the printing of this, the last, this thing, what the names and all you see, 2 hours. Yes, Parthasarathi, whom you must have met in the Explorers Forum. This is Parthasarathi here. Yeah. Yeah.
The printing, what you saw was a tremendous effort put by Sriram sir and Sridhar sir from Anuttama Printers and Goteti for the addendum. Really hats off to you, sirs. And for the food quality that was ensured, every meal was tested for taste from a Brahmin perspective, and we told the hotel it will be sent back to correct if it is not coming. He had 3-4 hours of session with the executive chef, and that was done by Sri Ram.
Srini Balaraman, whatever, if I am speaking and the last person sitting in the last row is able to hear me, and the visuals, everything was done by Srini Balaraman meticulously, to the extent, like we even forgot to, feed his team. Yesterday they were eating biscuits and they were doing this, we just missed out. I mean, sometimes, it happens. Our own team, they don't even ask. They work like that. That's the kind of work our team has done. And yes, management team, event management team. One more thing that I just would like to say. We can make all the arrangements We can have all facilities. We can do everything great. If this hall is going to be empty, everything is a waste. Oh yeah, I think, thank you, thanks Chairman. See, that's why I just prepared the list, but I have my Chairman here and my other team members. There are two people here. You must have been getting a lot of, messages coming in. The people who did do the design, who did blast. Where do I have my friend Ganapati and my friend Aditya? It is those two guys. You know what? Sometimes the kind of pressure that the kind of follow-ups that I was doing, they were not able to even work. And one more person like that is Priya, who had to do multiple jobs of handling the money, handling the registration, and I know how it was for her yesterday. I mean, in fact, somebody from my chapter, my own secretary said, Murli, I think you are taking people for granted just because they are from our own team. You can't do that. Kamala Sudan. And all of you, right from the moment you are landing in Chennai and going out of Chennai, thanks to Kamala Sudan, his team, and many of our volunteers, from 3:45 in the morning yesterday, probably till about 11:30 tonight, they are going to work. And thank you so much, Kamala Sudan, for that. And for the gifts, the bag you are carrying, though it was sponsored by CUB, it is this lady who is standing next to me. I have not forgotten you, Veena. No, she was very particular that she should be forgotten. I won't. Okay. Ramesh Kannan is the one who did the mementos for the other things which are. And our Subramaniam Hariharan, who did meticulously work in terms of managing the stall bookings, and you know what? The kind of work they did. Oh, I don't think I am going to thank my close friends who are in the core team. I think that's something which we have decided that we are not going to thank ourselves. Yeah, and Subramaniam from South Madras for photography. Okay, see, you know what? I might have missed my paper, but I have my friends who are here to remind me and compensate for whatever mistakes I do. You know what? There are a lot of things that we have done. You only see the best. We only know what all is going back in the back, which my friends are supporting and saving us all from. And Insurance Sriram, yes. Insurance Sriram, I tell you, is one man. And morning, but one thing I have to tell you, though he has been doing a meticulous and tremendous job, the first call will be from him, 6:30 to 7 in the morning. Last call will be from him by 11 to 11:15. And if the Spocks, I just wanted to come for that last. I was just mentioning, what is the point of making all this arrangement if we don't have these 400 people here? Thank you all, and I salute you. And a much bigger salute goes to the Spocks, without whom I don't think you would have trusted us. It is the trust they had in us which percolated into you. And the MCs of all the chapters who did support the Spocks blindly. Yeah, I think that's the name which, Chairman wanted me to talk about few names, specifically people like Uma Shankar, like you must have seen the bites being taken. People like Moksha, Malavika, Shanti Iyer for having the yoga session today, and Kritika, who became the best performer in this event. And then whom else I'm missing? Malavika for Aparna, Krishna Prasad. Silent killer. You have heard about silent killers, right? Krishna Prasad is the silent killer. Who is that? Aparna. Yeah, two silent killers. Aparna and Krishna Prasad. Yes. Rama Rangasamy. Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. So, Chandra Mauli, who handled the plenary sessions. Okay, so I don't think, what happens is, if you are going to allow me, I'll be, listing out for another 1 hour. Yeah, Ramya from the trust, the kind of support that we got from her is superb. And you know what? When we threw a surprise from the core team to Sandhya Rajagopal, our Dr. Sandhya, she did manage very well because the format in which she worked earlier was different. And we said that we are going to change the format. And she adapted to that and she helped us to change the format. And what you saw, the panel discussions, other things, is version 2. The version 1 was different. So there are so many things like this happen. Girija Raghavan, yes.
Vijay Lakshmi.
Yes, Coimbatore. The kind of support that we got from Coimbatore team, Muralidharan, Yashwant, Girija Rajagopal, Ellen, I can just name, Vijay Lakshmi, all these names. There are a few names which I may forget. Venkat from Aditya, Ranganayaki from Bharati. There are many people. I can just keep on naming the people. I am telling you. If I start telling the names from my memory, from our memory, I think another 1 hour will not be enough. So, in fact, chairman told me 5 minutes. I think I have already exceeded 5 minutes. If there is anything important missing, yeah, any left out? People like, Srikanth Ramanathan and a lot of other people who have contributed to this. Yeah, Suresh. Yeah. Yeah. You know what? See, one thing is, we did pledge to ourselves that our core team will not thank ourselves. So you are not going to have any names coming from the core team. Is that fine? But there is one person in the core team whom I'll be failing in my duty if I don't thank. My own friend Ram, as I call him, Ramki, the Ramakrishnan. Okay, our EC member who made this event happen in Chennai. You heard what our Murthy sir was saying. Just leave it to us, we will take care. And you know what? The kind of confidence he had in our team, he brought it here. So he is instrumental in all this happening in Chennai. So thank you all, thank you so much. I think I have mentioned about the Spocks who did bring, because you know what? The people who have been Spocks are some people who don't go out of my mind even in my dreams. Thank you all, thank you so much. I would like to leave it to Chairman for the last few words from him. Thank you, sir.
No, I think from the trust we have to thank Rajaram. We'll give him a big hand. Done a wonderful job. And also Muralidharan. Yeah. So they have done a wonderful job. It is a thankless job and we are really honored by both of you putting your all the best efforts.
There was one person who worked 24/7 for this. He was always, I don't know what business he did in the last 1.5 months. Bhargav Sundaram.
I know that it is so tough when it comes to do a program, but it was made so easy. So we felt that 2 days was so well done, we couldn't find any small lacuna in the program. And it's all because of all your team effort. So, Sanghe Shakti Kaliyuge. So you have proved that when we work together, it will happen. So, all credit goes to all of you in the Tamil Nadu chapters. You have done a wonderful job. And from the trust, we know that we are really honored to have all of you as our own bandhus and members of BBB. Thank you very much. It carries a lot in all our hearts, and we go with this to our back to home. Thank you very much.
That was a very noble thanking ceremony. Give a big hand to all the people together. And we are ending the program with the national anthem, please. भारत भाग्य विधाता पंजाब सिंध गुजरात मराठा द्राविड उत्कल वंगा विंध्य हिमाचल यमुना गंगा उच्छल जलधि तरंगा तब शुभ नामे जागे तब शुभ आशीष मागे जागे तव जय गाथा जनगण मंगलदायक जय हे भारत भाग्य विधाता जय हे जय हे जय हे जय 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 हे जय हे
जय हिंद Please
One-
contact Bidyalakshmi of Sirvani chapter.
One announcement, please. 1 minute, please. 9 rooms are allotted at Hablis Hotel.
For
Please
people who
contact.
are traveling in